Hello students, welcome to MJC Learning. Standard 12, Commerce Stream, Subject Information Technology and Chapter Enterprise Resource and Planning, ERP. In today's session, we are going to study the ERP related technologies and the future of ERP. So let's begin. An ERP system integrates separate business functions: material management, production planning, sales, distribution, financial, and others. All these separate functions are integrated in the ERP system into a single application. Apart from these modules, if some other technologies are used, then the performance of the enterprise increases significantly. These technologies also help in overcoming limitations of ERP package, which help the employees to make better decisions. Such type of technologies in ERP which help the employees in overcoming limitations and making better decisions. Those type of technologies we are going to learn today. First one is the Product Lifecycle Management, PLM. It is the process of managing the entire life cycle of a product. It is used to determine the lifespan of a product. If you see this diagram, this shows the 4-stage product life cycle. That is the introduction of a new product, then its growth in the market, its maturity, and the decline. Okay, the introduction, growth, maturity, and the decline. Last is the decline. If it cannot compete with the similar products of other companies, then the product marketing declines. The information gathered from this life cycle helps an enterprise to understand the status of a product in the existing market. So the product lifecycle management merges the vision that an organization has for managing the data, people, software, manufacturing, marketing, and overall plans for the product. This is all looked after by the product lifecycle management. Second is Management Information System, the MIS. These are computer-based information systems that are used within an organization, and they optimize the collection, transfer, and the presentation of information throughout an organization through the structure of the database and the information flow. There are 3 components here: the management, information, and systems. Management is the end user of data, that is a decision maker. Information is the process data, and system is integrated view of an enterprise, all the things collected together. So all enterprise contains different categories of employees like clerks, assistants, officers, executive managers, etc. All of which are the users of management information systems. Here, MIS will collect relevant data from inside and outside an enterprise. This data will be processed and stored in the centralized database, and it will be made available to users when needed. So MIS has the capability to generate reports also when the user demands it. Since all the information is stored in the database and it is centralized, you can generate any report when the user demands it. Third one is Supply Chain Management, SCM. The supply chain consists of all the activities associated with moving goods from the suppliers to the customer. It begins with collecting raw materials and ends with receiving the goods by the consumer. It's very important for companies to move the products to their customers quickly without any delay. Faster product delivery or availability will increase the satisfaction of customers. So it is very important to manage the activities in the supply chain. So supply chain management spans all the movement and storage of raw materials, work in process, inventory and finished goods. And from the point of origin to the point of consumption. That is from the supplier to the customer. And it is the oversight of materials, information and finances as they move in the process from supplier to manufacturer, then they come to the wholesaler, then retailer and finally consumer. This is the chain which is followed in the supply part from the supplier to the consumer. That is the supply chain management. Next one is Customer Relationship Management, CRM. It is a term applied to processes implemented by a company to handle its contact with its customers, relation with the customer. That is the customer relationship management. It covers the methods and technologies used by the companies to manage their relationship with the clients. It is not only the responsibility of customer service group or the IT team, but it touches all the major parts of an enterprise. If you see the figure, it includes the capture, storage and analysis of customer information. The data gathered as a part of CRM must consider customer privacy and the data security. Customers want the assurance that their data is not shared with the third party without their consent and not accessed illegally also by the third parties. So the data should be secured and not shared illegally. So customers also want their data used by companies to provide a benefit to them. So this technology requirement of customer relationship management consists of a database to store entire information about the customer and requires a software for interacting, analyzing and supporting the customers. So when you have trusted customers, you have all the information relating to customers in the database. And you should have a software for interacting with the customers also regularly about any policies, about anything relating to your enterprise. Last is Decision Support Systems, DSS. These are interactive computer-based systems that aid users in judgment and choice activities. It's a computer program application that analyzes business data and presents it so that users can make business decisions more easily. Here you have to concentrate on the word decision, making decision. That is a decision support system. DSS helps in decision making, but it does not necessarily give a decision itself. The decision makers combine useful information from the raw data, documents, personal knowledge, and business models to identify and solve the problems. And then they make decisions. Here again, DSS needs a strong database to provide the support in decision making. So these were the related technologies used in ERP. Next, let's look at the next topic, ERP and the internet. You all know about internet. It is a global system of interconnected networks which are connected worldwide. Now here, how is ERP related with in respect to the internet? The new trend in ERP development and use involves vendors making the software available to client companies on the internet. The communication between server and the client is done through the internet. So in the server, your ERP system is installed and the clients are the end user PCs. So you can access, when you are the end user, you can access the ERP software from the server. Today, many ERP systems run in the cloud as a software as a service. Now, what is a cloud? Cloud is a technology that uses remote servers. Remote server means server which is at a distance, not close to you, which is at a distance and you are saving on that. So cloud is a technology that uses remote servers on the internet to store, manage and access data online. So data remains secure in the cloud. That is the purpose. You can store lots of data and it remains secure also. It makes easier and more secure for businesses to manage their information in the cloud. So for companies that do not want their data in the cloud, you can install it on premise also. Means in your organization itself. So on-premise ERP can be run on the company's data center, that is the own data server of a company. And some are having both, saving part of data on the cloud and other part on their data center. That also can be done. So this was about the ERP and the internet. You can save your data on the cloud or on your private data center. And the concluding topic is future of ERP. How will be ERP used as in the future? The future of ERP exhibits the future of business. With the increase of mobile app services, businesses are ready to put data at the heart of every decision. Companies now prefer cloud-based ERP because they are heavy storage and safe also. So mostly companies prefer cloud-based ERP, and ERP systems are also becoming more dynamic. So here you have the first one, the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence means it is developing the intelligent machines. It's a branch of computer science that emphasizes on the development of intelligent machines which are thinking and working like human beings. They are only programmed and they work only that part. If you consider robots, say, it cannot be a human being, but whatever things are programmed in it, those are work like. So it works as a intelligent machine only. So ERP also will behave like an intelligent machine in the future. So AI services are impacting every phase or every side of business operations. Henceforth, they will be working as intelligent machines which think and work like human beings. Therefore, in future, intelligence will be used with ERP, which will make the work more easy for you. Second, the concept of machine learning is going to revolutionize ERP. It will help businesses to achieve high levels of automation. All the things will be computerized, automated, machine related. Third, embedded business intelligence, analytics and data management features built into ERP will be the next future ERP. Again, data will be analyzed systematically. So, embedded data also will be dealt with properly. And then will be there will be more ERP transactions triggered by sensors and the external devices. Today, sensors are placed in all the devices for various types of data collection purpose. They give various signals also. So these type of sensors henceforth will be used in ERP transactions, which will be working as a new emerging technology merged with a ERP. So this part is the future of ERP technology. So ERP software works by integrating all the different departments in an organization into one computer system for efficient communication and enhancing productivity. It merges all the departments to function properly and efficiently together. So while employing an ERP system may be expensive, but it offers the organization a cost efficient system in the long run. So this chapter should be, since it's a theory chapter, this should be studied properly. You may get theoretical questions mostly on this chapter. So be thorough with all the concepts for answering. That's all for today. Thank you.